Well, hello brothers and sisters, welcome to Mission Zero. If this is your first time here, my name is Shawn, and this is Vlogmas episode 3. So one of the things I found about working from home that's really key is that you need to go ahead and dress the part and kind of look the whole thing, otherwise you have a real hard time kind of concentrating. But the other key is to have yourself a dedicated workspace that you can use in your house that's kind of segregated. That way you can actually get stuff accomplished. Anyway, I gotta log in. I will be back to talk about what we're going to talk about today in, well, it'll be no time for you. Oh, hey! So, there's a couple of things that I should tell you then probably about Vlogmas for this year, and one of those is that I'm going to do all of the recording and all of the editing on my smartphone. So I'm going to do all the editing with an app called Power Director because it seems like it can do a pretty decent job, and I'm going to do all the recording on my smartphone. But there's a couple of things to know about that. One is the S9 Plus, because I am expressive with my hands, has a real focus bounce problem I haven't figured out how to nail. So like if you know how to fix that, down in the comments let me know. Otherwise you're just going to have to deal with some focus bounce issues and some color grading issues, because that's the second thing. Power Director doesn't seem to have a great amount of color grading options, so you're going to kind of get whatever color that the phone puts out. The second thing to know about how I'm going to run Vlogmas, every one of these, with the exception of yesterday because I was really ill, every one of these I think is going to focus on something that Jesus said. So today, we're going to start out with Matthew chapter 5 verse 3, which is the beginning of the Beatitudes. Now, I have to grab some lunch because I am starving and that call just took it out of me. But I will be back in just a little while and we will talk about the beginning of the Beatitudes. I guess another thing I should sort of mention about Vlogmas is that anything I record prior to when my wife wakes up, I'll be a little bit whispery. So volume may kind of fluctuate through the whole thing. Anyway, I'll be back in a minute. I forgot what I was going to grab out of this cabinet. Whew, that was a pretty tense conference call. So yeah, so Matthew 5 verse 3 begins the Beatitudes, and it is, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." Now, there's been a bajillion translations of that and kind of interpretations of that through the millennia, but what does it actually mean if you look at the real Greek? Oh, okay, now I have an email to take care of, so back in one second. Okay, so finally done with the workday. Pardon the yellow, it's dark enough outside that I don't get any natural light. So the thing that Jesus is actually saying here is a little bit hidden in the Greek wording. So the first piece I'll go for is the kingdom of heaven part. So kingdom there is the Greek word basileia, and basileia does not refer to the physicality of a kingdom. It's the right to rule that kingdom. So when it's the kingdom of heaven, it's more like the kingship of heaven. It's the ability to sort of say what's what in the kingdom. Well, then let's go back to the first part. So blessed are the poor in spirit. So the word blessed there is makarios. And although it can mean blessed, the better usage of it is imbued with happiness. So imbued with happiness are the poor in spirit. Now there's another piece. That poor in spirit part is often taken to be one thing. So it's talking about people who are kind of downtrodden. But that's not really right. What it's saying is blessed in spirit are those who are poor. And so it's really talking about the poor, the people without any money. Well, okay, how do you wrap all that together? What it's really saying, what Jesus is telling his disciples here, right? Because this is Jesus talking to his disciples and teaching them something. He's saying that the poor are light in their spirit, happy in their spirit, because they have the ability to say what's what in the kingdom of heaven. Now, what exactly, though, is he saying? What he's really saying is the poor who are unencumbered by, money and wealth and some of the strings of this world are free to say what's real. And so when the poor go to account for their lives, they get to enumerate all of the people who showed them true kindness or who manipulated them, those who supported them versus those who trod them down. And so what Jesus is really telling his disciples is, watch how you treat the poor, because they have authority in the kingdom. It's not about the afterlife. It's about the right here and now. They have the ability to really define human hearts, not because they know the human heart, but because they are the people who have a completely objective view of kindness. Right? They know who passes them by and pretends they don't see them. They know who reaches out a hand to manipulate or actually genuinely cares to help them. And so I think what that means for us today and how we apply that in our lives is, yeah, absolutely. Be nice to the poor. Be kind to the poor. But it's also a gut check for all of us that those people you may look down on are not necessarily powerless to determine your fate. And the attitude that you carry towards other people can absolutely have an impact on your temporary mortal life and your immortal spiritual life. So there you go. I don't know why I just looked at my wrist as though this is a watch. It's not a watch anyway. It's just instinctual. I know it's like 5:10 or something. I gotta go so I can edit this, figure out how to wrap up a video and put music on it in Power Director and get this thing posted for today. So I love you and peace out.